What's going on, everyone? So, the Airbnb that we see at Stu Macher's house, Stu Macher's house has become an Airbnb, and they have an animatronic Ghostface. And I've seen a lot of theories, right? Did live streams, people have mentioned it in the live streams about, is the animatronic truly an animatronic, right? Or is it just, somebody acting as such? And I've seen people, break down like, oh man, the movements and motions of the supposed animatronic aren't really moving the way that animatronics would move and all that. Really kind of breaking it down, which, look, it's Scream. This is the kind of things that they would do. You think it's this, really it's this, and then surprise, you get the shocker, right? We only see one Ghostface, and it seems like, the couple, the man ends up running away from Ghostface, gets attacked, and then eventually, that same Ghostface goes after her. But again, you got to understand that we're looking at basically chops of a scene, right? This is expected to be the opening scene. This is expected to be the moment that really sets the tone for this film. And I imagine there's going to be some kind of shock and surprise. I've seen people throw out maybe the boyfriend kind of dresses up as Ghostface and then kind of tries to scare her. And then that's the Ghostface that we see that's messing with her. And then really, kind of like a Jason and Greg type thing. I've seen people throw out the possibility and potential of, maybe they go upstairs or something like that. And then Ghostface ends up swapping out. Right? So like, maybe it is an animatronic and then Ghostface ends up swapping the animatronic with himself. Because, you think about it. You walk up, you have the animatronic Ghostface, you check it out, you're like, oh, that's really cool type thing. And then you go and explore the rest of the house and you're gone for, a couple minutes or whatever. Doesn't take much time for Ghostface to run over there, sneak in, swap, himself with the mannequin or whatever. And then boom, you're just walking by, minding your own business, and bam. Right? It also could be a moment where maybe you get an early reveal of multiple Ghostface, right? So it's not impossible that, you have kind of the Ghostface that you see chasing after the boyfriend, taking out the boyfriend, and then maybe you have another killer that's going after the that goes after the girlfriend, right? So, maybe you get one is dragging away the boyfriend or whatever, and, the second one is handling business, right? There's so much potential and so many different ways that they could go about this and approach it, right? Like, and to be honest, I hope that they are creative, right? It makes sense, right? This isn't like some far-fetched fan theory or something like that people go, like, this is something that, like, makes a lot of sense. You have what appears to be an animatronic, and we're going to end up turning that into a real Ghostface. And, people get shocked and they get surprised. And and think about it. We've had things where, like, Ghostface is hiding in in Scream 3, where he's hiding in the wardrobe of all the different Ghostfaces and stuff, right? Like, what better way to blend in? What better way to kind of hide yourself and blend in the shadows, so to speak, then, you let them introduce themselves to what is at the moment an animatronic, right? Then once they have that safety blanket and that security of like, oh, it's just a robot or it's just a doll or whatever, that's when you go and really kind of throw them for a loop and end up taking them out. Right? But you also got to think of like the opening scenes period outside of, the classic Scream. Even that had kind of its loops, but usually the opening scene has kind of its twists and turns on its own, right? Usually the opening scene has kind of its own things of its own, right? Like you think of, like I said, with Scream 6, you got Jason and Greg. Now you got Samara Weaving's character, on the date, that setup, and then you kind of had the extended version of that opening scene, right? And then Jason and Greg get taken out. Cool. Scream 5 was was just a homage and callback to the classic, 96. But you think of Scream 4 and the movie within a movie within a movie, like the first like 4 kills were like stab kills, right? And then you think of Scream 3 with Cotton and that twist and surprise and stuff. And then that roller coaster. And the girlfriend thinks it's him. And he's like, no, babe, like it's not me. And it really isn't him, right? Like, and so on and so forth. Think of Scream 2 with the movie theater, right? Like, and then 96. So Scream has always had this sort of, hey, here's a roller coaster of a ride that is designed to set the tone and the pace and all that stuff for the upcoming Scream, right? So I would love to see something where you get, like I said, a Ghostface that is, kind of toying with them to an extent. Like, I want Ghostface to be quick and brutal. I've talked about it, right? Like, I think Scream 5's Ghostface is a great example of that. No nonsense, no BS. Every person you saw on camera outside of, Tara, you knew that they were going to die. Tara was the only one that they didn't kill because they did that deliberately, right? They deliberately left them alive. But, you got the whole, no one's going to get out alive. There's no games. There's no toying. There's no nothing, right? I'm Ghostface showing up, taking business, moving on, right? And I would prefer that, but you want a little kind of toying in the opening, right? You want to kind of set up and establish what you want to set up and establish in the opening. And I think that if you do this in the right manner, kind of keep us on our toes, keep us guessing, keep us kind of excited. You know how audiences kind of have their expectations. You want to kind of divert those expectations and kind of have a Ghostface that, there's going to be probably many versions, many potentials with Ghostface, and having little kind of mysteries, or maybe getting an early, hey, there's 2 or 3 killers right out the gate. It's like, okay, so now we know we can prepare for multiple killers right out the gate. Like, all those things I think are excellent kind of indicators. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think that it's a mannequin for real? Do you think, or an animatronic, whatever, or do you think it's something else? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.